Hi, my name is Peter Kimmel, one of the principals of FM Benchmarking. I'd like to begin this video by asking you two questions. First, do you want to cut back on your building's operating expenses? And second, do you want to reduce your building's carbon footprint? If you answered yes to either question, this video will show you how FM Benchmarking will help you not only achieve those goals, but with flying colors. In this video, I will show you how FM Benchmarking, a web-based application, through its unique approach of integrating best practices into building metrics, will identify opportunities for you to save. I will show you examples of real savings achieved by real clients, and I will show you how to gain access to our data at an unbelievably low price. FM Benchmarking has three key components. First, operating costs, where we track 97% of the typical facility's operating costs. These include costs for utilities, maintenance, custodial, and security. Then we have a sustainability module where we track general sustainability information such as recycling and performance targets. We track Energy Star ratings, and we track LEED EB existing buildings for operations and maintenance. We then tie each of those areas into best practices. Here is our basic formula. First, you start by comparing your building metrics to those of others. Then you apply best practices to analyze what others in better performing buildings are doing that you are not. And third, you then implement the best practices to improve your building's performance. This chart shows dollar savings over 5 years. Your first step is to input your building data. We'll show you how you can get this up and running in less than an hour. If you want, you may come back later and add in more data or just leave it alone. Next, you determine the buildings that you want to include in your benchmarking comparison. You do this by selecting from over 50 filters that we make available to you. Some of the filters are climate, building size and age, type of business, hours of use, and many more, including which of the standards you use to measure your building's area. You now will see how your building compares to the others in your filter set. Each vertical line represents a different building. Yours is in orange. The vertical axis is a building metric, such as energy consumed per square foot. The better performing buildings are in the quartile to the left. We now see that our building is performing worse than most of the other buildings, but we don't know what to do to improve. So we take a look at which best practices the better performing buildings have implemented, and then compare them to what we do in our building. Best practices is the very special ingredient that makes FM benchmarking totally unique in this field. Here we can see what percent of similar buildings that are outperforming ours are following each of the best practices that ours is not doing. Besides the best practices on the table, you will see over 100 others, such as energy efficient lighting, use of handhelds for maintenance, daytime cleaning, high preventive maintenance ratios, and many more. This will give us a very good idea of which we may want to implement. Now let's look at some examples of what those using this methodology have saved. After just 1 year, the median company using our methodology was able to reduce its energy consumption by 8%. The dashed line shows the additional savings each year. Notice that it is always positive, meaning that the typical company keeps finding more ways to save each year. After 10 years, the median company has reduced its energy spend by 40%. Now I'm going to show you similar data, but for the percent reduction of operating costs. After the first year, the median company has saved 6%, and by the end of the 10th year, it saved 31%. We believe that all these numbers are very compelling. So what does FM benchmarking cost, given all these savings that you can expect to achieve? You can have this powerful tool for 1 year on a subscription basis for only $375. This is just over $1 a day. And if you have more than one building to input, the cost per building drops immediately. For example, if you input 10 buildings, it would just cost $300 per building. And the pricing continues to drop all the way down to under $200 per building. To find out more, please go to our website, fmbenchmarking.com, where we also have an interactive demo that includes some of our data fields and allows you to input some of your own building's data. In addition, use our benchmarking savings calculator to see what we think you should be able to save in your building. We also invite you to see 2 other short videos. First, how to subscribe to FM benchmarking, and the other, unleashing the power of FM benchmarking. Thanks very much for watching. Please go to the FM benchmarking website to get much more information about FM benchmarking and see how easy it is to get up and running in no time at all.